Welcome back to the channel, everyone. CryptoTakeOver coming back with a Bitcoin cryptocurrency video for you today. We're going to be taking a look at a few articles, going over the charts, and seeing where Bitcoin is going to be passing 20K possibly relatively soon. Super excited about that. That sounds interesting, folks. Go ahead and stick around and let's get started. If you're brand new to the channel, you've never been here before, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, comment down below. Let me know how your day is going, what you think about Bitcoin possibly reaching up to 20K by the end of the month. And let's go over a few news articles. Get started here. Why Ethereum and Bitcoin are very different investments. Those new to crypto, such as institutional investors recently buying into Bitcoin's digital gold narrative, might now be looking around for the next big thing. When long-anticipated arrival of Phase 0 of Ethereum 2.0 upgraded launching on December 1st, that could be the network native token, Ether, but analysts say Ether should be judged on its own merits and not as a Bitcoin replacement. I've always thought the digital asset space is huge, and it's not just Bitcoin because there are going to be different applications for different things. Co-founder financial media group Real Vision said in Real Vision's documentary Ethereum: An Investigation, which was released on November 30th, I think of the two, Bitcoin and Ether, as having a very nice combined asset allocation. So interesting. I haven't seen this Ethereum Real Vision's documentary Ethereum: An Investigation. I'll have to kind of look that up. Maybe it's on YouTube somewhere too. So maybe we could do some digging for that. And let's see here. Weakening correlation between Bitcoin and Ether. Okay, some analysts say there are more institutions pour money into Bitcoin and push up its price. Ether and other cryptocurrencies will gradually decouple from Bitcoin. Indeed, while Bitcoin this week logged a record high price, Ether isn't even close to its all-time high of $1,448. Data in CoinDesk shows 90-day correlation coefficient between the prices of the top two cryptocurrencies, while strong, has gradually weakened a bit since the summer, from as high as 93 cents to nearly 7 cents at the beginning of December. So I guess this is our correlation asset, or this is our correlation chart here. Bitcoin Ethereum correlation since January 1st. Looks like it's kind of fallen off. Obviously, we know that Bitcoin has been rising and Ethereum hasn't been rising quite as much, but we are probably anticipating a rise in Ethereum. And we can go over Ethereum charts today too. The thing about correlation is it can disappear at any time. Research analysis to digital group, blah, blah, blah. In that case, you want to understand the core fundamentals of what you hold, because if you hold Ether as a proxy to your Bitcoin exposure, and when prices decouple, you are now exposed to something very different. Bitcoin has been used by many investors this year as a hedge against drop in the purchasing power of the US dollar. Ether is considered the currency of the world computer, which aims to build ecosystems of decentralized applications. Obviously, you know that DeFi has been a big part of Ethereum and possibly going to be the next type of implementation of financial services that could be based on top of Ethereum, but we will have to wait and see how that turns out. The close historical correlation between Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies may be due to how tiny the digital ecosystems and relative to the global economy. The total market capitalization of crypto assets is estimated at $562 billion, a mere 1.7 of the S&P 500 stock market index combined market cap of $32.2 trillion. With almost every crypto asset built on different fundamentals, non-Bitcoin cryptocurrencies may be trending with Bitcoin prices simply because the nascent market is still so small and insular. So yeah, you know that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies still have a long way to go to reach their total coin market cap of somewhere near like the S&P 500. But you know, as time progresses on, we'll start to see that grow even more. Correlation data doesn't tell the whole story. Prices may move in tandem, but the degree to which that happens is another matter. When the explosive decentralized finance boom hit the market during the summer, Ether's price rallied to its highest in more than 2 years because most DeFi projects are built on Ethereum blockchain. At the time, Bitcoin was struggling to break a similar 2-year record. What ETH 2.0 could mean for investors. The market will have to wait and see what kind of real impact the ongoing Ethereum upgrade could have on its native currency, because the final phase of the process is scheduled to complete in 2023. But a major fundamental upgrade of the network underpinning Ether could lead its price to move on its own fundamentals instead of merely following Bitcoin's price. The heart of Ether 2.0, which makes the entire system possible, is Ether. According to a report, ETH is not only by Ethereum's native story, but value, asset, and fuel for transactions, but will also be Ethereum's ultimate source of security from its role to proof-of-stake system. Thus, while Bitcoin can be seen as somewhere between a store of value and a commodity on the asset superclass triangle, ETH could ultimately become the first asset to be a combination of all three classes of assets: capital assets, commodities, and store value. When Ethereum's price starts to be driven by its own catalyst, holding it as a proxy to having Bitcoin exposure will not work as expected. So interesting. They're saying that, obviously there's a lot to be implemented with ETH 2.0 that is up and coming. And so we'll have to kind of wait to see how that wants to play out too as well. In echo, and so we have another article here by CoinDesk. In echo of Bitcoin's Genesis mining pool embeds Reuters headline on the blockchain. Very interesting. So Reuters has been embedded on the blockchain by Genesis mining pool. A cryptocurrency mining pool has immortalized a potential iconic Reuters headline on the Bitcoin blockchain. Sushi Pool, which recorded block on the chain on Wednesday, included the headlines: dollar plummets on U.S. stimulus hopes. Bitcoin hits all-time peak in one of the data fields. Very interesting. Reuters article aligning crash alongside the surging Bitcoin cryptocurrencies is being seen as an echo of pseudo-anonymous Bitcoin investor Satoshi Nakamoto's famous inclusion in the cryptocurrency Genesis block. The very first block mined for Bitcoin was embedded with the text: "The Times, 3 January 2009, Chancellor on Brick of second bailout for banks," in a presumed reflection of Satoshi's view on the risk of fractional reserve banking. Bitcoin and the US dollar have been moving in opposite directions since March this year, with the USD today having hit its lowest value since 2018. The dropping dollar and expectations of rise of inflation as central banks undertake unexpected money supply boosting policies amid the pandemic are seen as a growing reason to adopt Bitcoin as a hedge like gold. Amid this scenario, Bitcoin reached its new record of 19,920 on December 1st, helping along by listed firms starting to invest in cryptocurrency as a treasure asset. So it looks like there has been a new implementation. So that's very interesting. December 1st, dollar plummets as Bitcoin rise to its all-time peak. That's pretty cool. So I guess this is on Sushi Block, the Sushi Pool, which recorded, the Sushi Pool, or Slush Pool, sorry, not Sushi. Slush Pool has recorded this block here on the chain of Wednesday. Okay, very interesting. I guess you can also open up the block if you want and see where it says that. Very interesting. Okay. Wow, so we could look at the block here, transaction. Cool. And then also, just for some funny news here, we have Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary says Bitcoin too volatile for his portfolio, but says he would own a crypto ETF. Obviously, that's what a lot of people are waiting for, is a crypto ETF. I guarantee you guys, these folks are already invested in cryptocurrency. They're just same with like Peter Schiff and all these, clowns out there. Talking about, I wouldn't invest in Bitcoin. I guarantee you they have some of their investors and probably themselves or family members that are invested in Bitcoin. I mean, it is just one of the things that you can just read right through these people. And the more that they talk bad about cryptocurrency, the more that you know that they probably actually own cryptocurrency. I don't think anyone would waste their energy, especially billionaires. Billionaires would not waste their breath trying to talk bad about something. When they continuously talk bad about it, it probably means that they probably own some. Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary told Pomp Podcast that Bitcoin is too volatile and liquid for his portfolio, but he would like to own a cryptocurrency ETF. Give me the top 7 cryptocurrencies, put them in an ETF wrapper, and let me invest in it with liquidity so that if I want to buy $1 million of it in the morning and sell $1 million in the afternoon, I can do that in an ETF format, he said. O'Leary added that if the SEC approved a crypto ETF, more institutional investors would buy Bitcoin. And so, yeah, that's, obviously we've been waiting for ETF to kind of be released onto the stock markets so that heavy investors can, invest into cryptocurrencies. The thing is that these are the cryptos are so up and down too, is that they would probably have to continuously change out each cryptocurrency that's inside of that's wrapped up in the ETF too as well. So you can take a look at this article. We're going to go on into the charts since we're already kind of running here on time. So let's go over to the charts and get started here. I do want to let you know, let me find it here. I do want to let you know, let's see if CryptoFace's website is working again. I'm not sure why I was having issues with it last time. There we go. So Market Cipher is still on sale. As you can see, the blowout special is still going on. If you want to pick up Market Cipher, I would highly recommend it. It is our go-to indicator on this channel, our bread and butter indicator package that we use. CryptoFace has helped us out in many different ways on this channel too as well. And we're a big supporter of him over on his channel, CryptoFace, the YouTube channel too. So if you want to go pick it up, you can find the link in the description box below. And then you can also become a reseller of Market Cipher too by putting in your own unique ID username here. Once you click the link, you're already helping support the channel though. So I highly appreciate that, everyone. And don't forget, we also have our Patreon membership group. If you're interested in joining us in our Patreon page, you can come over here, check the link in the description box below. And if you would like to learn a little bit more about how we trade these markets, things we look for, then join us over here. All right, so we're taking a look at the Bitcoin charts to start us off with. Taking a look at the 1 hour, we're starting to see a little bit of a dip here in our money flow, but as you can see, we are starting to push possibly back up into that greenish money flow as of right now too as well. So I wouldn't be too bearish here, and it does look like we are getting a buy signal on our hash ribbons. We'll go into that here in a second. The thing is that what we were waiting for, you can see we've been making support down here on this trend line. We didn't quite break it. I did signal the group and said if we break this trend line, it's not going to look too good. But as of right now, it looks like we are holding support. If we break through 20K, you can kind of see where we're finding a little bit of a upwards trend line here. This blue trend line is our all-time high, about 20K or so. But if we break through that, it does look like it's going to end up as an ascending triangle. So one thing that we were waiting for was to see our money flow move back into that greenish direction on our lower time frames, and it does look like we are getting that. As we start to zoom out, even on our 2 hour, our 4 hour, money flow starting to move up to the top side. We haven't quite lost the momentum here. I do expect some consolidation. You can see that our wick here on our 4 hour has been getting a little bit of rejection as of right now. Let's take a look at our 6 hour time frame. 6 hour time frame is still looking really good. Momentum wave to the upside is also leading us a little bit higher, probably past that blue level of that 20K area or so. Yeah, so this is looking freaking amazing. Our green dots here on our 10 hour as well. We've held support on our 10 hour EMA. If we are to zoom kind of in just a little bit, the 8 hour would have been a nice time frame to keep a close eye on. If we were to break below our 21 EMA on some of these mid time frames, then I would be a little bit concerned, but it looks like we have been holding support here relatively well on our mid time frames, and our higher time frames are still looking really bullish with our money flow aspect. 1 day and a 2 day still looking really good. 2 day, here's a green dot, and I did expect that we probably were going to get a lot of these Christmas tree patterns here on these higher time frames. If you go back and watch some of my previous videos, you'll know that that's kind of what I've been expecting too as well. So let's take a look at the daily, and it does look like we are getting a buy signal on our hash ribbons, folks. This is super bullish. Man, all I can say is that get ready. Things are about to probably skyrocket, honestly, and I think we're probably going to shoot through 20K and possibly make our way up maybe into the $23,000 area or so. So get ready for a lot of FOMO, a lot of hype. The hype train is coming in for Bitcoin, and we are going to be ready for it. So comment down below, let me know what y'all think, and we'll actually look at Ether here really quick. But folks, don't forget, if you want to learn a little bit more about some of these altcoins that we're getting into right now, you can join us on the Patreon page. I do believe that altcoin season will be taking place in 2021, and it is going to be probably really epic. I'm so excited for altcoin season to finally be here. I can't wait, honestly. It's going to be a ride of a lifetime, honestly. And so if you want to know about some of the alts that we're getting into, I've done heavy research on these alts, and they are going to be ones that are going to be sticking around for the long term, and they're ones that you may have overlooked already, but with the research and data that I've done, I think that they are going to be here to stay. Obviously not financial advice if you do join, and none of the stuff that we say on this channel is financial advice. This is all just for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so also, folks, don't forget we have a path to cryptocurrency course. This is a beginner's course to cryptocurrency, starting from how to get invested, how to dollar cost average, what exchanges we use on a regular basis, how to stake your coins, different things of that nature, how to stay safe and away from scammers, how to spot scams. All those things will be talked about here in the Path to Cryptocurrency course. So if you're brand new to crypto and you have no idea what you're doing, I would highly recommend that you take a beginner course, and you can check that out. Link in the description box below. All right, let's jump back over into Ethereum. Let's take a look at the dominance chart just really quick. I know that we were kind of getting a little bit of a bounce here. Let's take a look at our 2-day. Probably a green dot here on our 2-day, probably moving to the upside just a tad bit. Our 3-day chart ready to flip into that greenish money flow there too, probably pretty soon. But yeah, things are still looking pretty good. It looks like we are trying to make a little bit of a bounce. Maybe the 10-hour or the 12-hour could be seeing some rejection. So we'll have to wait and see exactly how this wants to play out. Our mid time frames don't look too hot right now. Let's take a look at our 4-hour to see where that's at. So things could probably be seeing a little bit of consolidation here, but we're going to take a look at ETH, because that could probably mean that money is starting to come back into Ethereum too as well. But what we probably want to look for here is probably another push up to this level at about 68% or so. And just for kicks and giggles, before we go on to Ethereum, let's take a look at the dollar index and just see how much we are collapsing. So putting in lower lows here on the dollar index value, sitting right at about 80 or 90 cents for the dollar index, and we're looking for a break probably down to here into that 88-cent area or so. But things are still looking really bearish for the dollar, so just have a heads up for that too as well. Let's go on into Ethereum, taking a look at ETH here on the daily time frame. Possible little head and shoulders pattern that could be forming here, which could give Bitcoin a chance to rise too as well. Let's take a look at the 12-hour, or possibly maybe even the 4-hour. Let's see what's going on here. 4-hour still looking relatively good for the most part, all the way up until our 8-hour, and then we're starting to probably see a little bit of retracement as we start to zoom out on these higher time frames. But we could be getting a nice little clip to the upside here. It looks like the VWAP wants to round off on the 1-day, and we may continue up a little bit higher here. So possibly looking for maybe about 650 or so for Ethereum. What was our previous high at? 620, and it looked like we did touch about 638 or so. Yeah, we're pushing back up above our pivot trend line here on our daily time frame too as well. Let's take a look at our 2-day green dot, and looks like we're still continuing up just a tad bit here, even on our 3-day chart too as well. So folks, taking a look at our 21 EMA here on our 3-day, looks like we have been holding support with Ethereum too as well. Things are looking relatively good for Ethereum as of right now. I'm expecting probably a little bit more of a bullish rally going on into the rest of the week and the weekend, and then we'll have to reevaluate from there and see what's going to happen with Bitcoin or Ethereum. I do believe that Bitcoin is probably going to be making some relatively big moves, but we will be keeping you up to date pretty much every single day on this channel as we start to continue this bull run. We are going to be producing more and more content, so hopefully you stick around with us, and don't forget to join us in our Patreon page. Also, sign up for the newsletter. We are doing a $100 giveaway whenever we reach 3,000 subs. So once we hit 3,000 subs, you'll be qualified for a $100 giveaway whenever you sign up for our newsletter. So check that out, link in the description box below. And without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the video with your friends and family if they're interested in cryptocurrency. And yeah, let me know what alts you're getting into. Let me know what you think about the Bitcoin rally. Do you think it's going up or down from here? And I'll talk to y'all in the next one. CTO signing out. Peace.